Hi, here we are discussing the teaching aptitude with key concepts, just a short revision. So, if you are preparing for it, you can listen to this as a whole, and we will go through all the concepts and all the learnings that are useful for the paper. So, here it is. Let's start. So, firstly, we are discussing the concept and nature of teaching. That what is teaching? So, teaching is basically an art and science of facilitating learning, which is purposeful activity to bring behavioral changes, and it is an interactive process between reader and learner and teacher. So, moving to some characteristics of teacher and teaching, we have goal-oriented and purposeful, social and professional process, interactive and dynamic, planned and systematic, both art and science. So when we talk about teaching, we have some various characteristics like goal orientation, like we teachers should have a purpose, and there would be a professional process that should be interactive and dynamic, which is planned and systematic both. Moving to the Bloom's taxonomy, which is very important, we have three domains, that is cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So in cognitive domain, we deal with the knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, which is the 1956 model, and it is revised by Anderson and Crothwell in 2001, in which he make the create block as the topmost block in place of synthesis. Okay, in affective domain we have receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and characterization. In psychomotor domain we have perception, set, guided response mechanism, and complex response. I think you can better relate with the keywords, as keywords are most important part of doing a paper. So we are having three levels of this teaching, in which we have memory level, in which we have very well known about rote learning, recall, and recognition, that is very basic. And in understanding level we have comprehension, interpretation, application. And reflective level we have problem solving, creativity, and critical thinking. One more thing to analyze and to learn, as in memory level we have this by Herbert. Memory level is by Herbert, understanding level by Morrison, and reflective level by Hunt. So these three key names are very much important for the three levels of teaching. Moving up to the learner's characteristic, we have individual differences like physical, mental, emotional, and social. That are all the differences we deal with in a learner's. And talking about the learning style, we have VARK model, which is visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic. In visual, we learn through seeing diagrams, charts, and graphics, all of that. In auditory, we learn through hearing, that is lectures, discussions. In reading, writing, we learn through text. In kinesthetic, we have hands-on experiment learning, that is learned through doing. There is also age-related characteristics we have. So there comes children, which has concrete thinking, short attention span like characteristics. In adolescents we have abstract thinking, peer influence, and in adults we have self-directed, experience-based learning. These note comprises of all the keywords that is needed in the paper to solve a question. So moving to the next part, we have factors affecting teaching. So these are very basic factors, like teacher related factors. We know about teachers factors, and the factor that will affect teacher teaching. So the teacher related factors could be subject knowledge and expertise, teaching skills and pedagogical knowledge, personality, attitude and enthusiasm, communication skills, and professional development and training. Then here comes the learner related factors also, that is motivation and interest level, that how much motivated a person is to learn, and what his or her interest is or not. Prior knowledge and experience, learning ability and experience, socio-economic background and attention span and concentration. There comes institutional factors that deals with infrastructure and physical facilities, class size and composition, curriculum design and syllabus, and time allocation and scheduling, leading to the administrative support also. Some basic key environmental factors we can talk about as physical, that is light, ventilation, noise, temperature, psychological like stress, anxiety, classroom and climate, social like peer pressure, family support, and cultural factors. Talking about the methods of teaching, so I guess if you only focus on these keywords, these are very helpful. And why I am mentioning this again and again, that keywords are important because I have been observing the trends of UGC and pattern of question. That's how examiner traps student. So there comes the role of keyword. So that's why, without wasting time, I want to make it concise to learn and have the best approach we can have. So we have methods of teaching. In this, we have teacher-centered methods like lecture method, demonstration method, and drill practice method. We know lecture method that has direct instruction, one-way communication, in which we have chalk, duster method, and all of that. Demonstration method, we have showing process or procedure that we have doing an experiment or anything. In drill and practice, we have repetition for skill development. Then we have learner-centered method like discussion method, project method, discovery method, heuristic method, problem-solving method, inquiry method. In each of every method, it symbolizes what its key name is. Like in discussion, we have group interaction. In project method, we have problem-based experiential learning. In discovery method, we have self-exploration. In heuristic, we have question-answer guided discovery. And in problem-solving method, we have critical thinking approach. Also, in inquiry method, we have research-based learning. Talking about the modern teaching methods, we have flipped classroom, blended learning, online-offline integration, which is online-offline integration, cooperative learning, which is a small group collaboration, e-learning and MOOCs, that is massive open online courses, that digital learning platforms, program instruction, that is self-paced learning. One more important thing in modern teaching methods that is mostly asked in the exam is flipped classroom, that is pre-learning plus classroom application. Something that we have pre-learned at home and we discuss its application and importance in the classroom. So these all are modern teaching methods. Moving to the teaching aids and ICT, we have traditional teaching aids like chalk, whiteboard, the traditional one, charts, map, posters, models and specimens, that is 3D representation, flashcards, that is quick review tools, textbooks and workbook. Talking about the audiovisual aids, we have radio, audio recording, television and video, films and documentaries, overhead projector, that is OHP, and LCD projector and slides, that is we are very well aware of. Talking about the ICT tools, we have computer and internet, interactive whiteboards, learning management systems, educational apps and software, virtual reality and augmented reality, that is VR and AR, and we have VC tools also, that is video conferencing tools. Now we have the next topic, which is selection criteria for teaching aids. Talking about the selection criteria for teaching aid, we have relevant to learning objective, appropriate to learners level, cost effective and available, easy to use and maintain, that enhance learning effectiveness. There again comes the important part, that is evaluation system. Evaluation system is also the most asked topics. Here comes the formative evaluation, which is very important along with the summative evaluation. So let's drill and know what does this. So in formative evaluation, we have continuous evaluation during teaching process. The type of evaluation that occurs during the teaching process, that is continuous in nature, that is formative evaluation. In summative evaluation, we have terminal at end of course. The type of evaluation that occurs at the end of course is summative, and that occurs during teaching process is formative. Yes. And next we have diagnostic, in which we identify learner difficulties, and in placement we initial assessment for grouping, that how we place the learners by evaluating their qualities and all of that. Now we are having some evaluation tools like written test, the most common one, in which we have MCQ and everything. As like in our government exam we have written test, and oral test, it is viva and interview. Practical test includes lab work and demonstration, assignment, project, observation and rating skill, portfolios and rubrics. I know we all know these evaluation tools and all of that very well, so we are just summarizing it. Okay, so now moving up to characteristics of good test, we have validity, which measures what it intends to measure. It is valid or not, it is valid or invalid. So that comes the validity. And in the case of reliability, you can go with the keyword consistency. So reliability deals with consistent and dependable results. Objectivity deals with free from personal bias, and comprehensiveness covers entire content. Discrimination differentiates ability levels, and practicability is very easy to administer and scores. Talking about the grading system, we have absolute grading, which has fixed performance standard. Relative grading, which has comparison with peers, that is curve grading. CCE, that is continuous and comprehensive evaluation. CGPA, that is we all got in our 10th and 12th, like this much CGPA, this much CGPA, or in our graduation and all program we have the CGPA system, which is cumulative grade point average. And letter grades, as we all know, A, B, C, D, F system. Moving to the teacher effectiveness. For the teacher effectiveness, we have essential qualities of effective teacher, like subject mastery, effective knowledge, communication skill, patience, empathy, all of that, like professional ethics and integrity, leadership and management skill. Talking about the role of teacher, we have teacher as a counselor, guide, facilitator of learning, curriculum designer, planner, evaluator and assessor, role model and mentor, research and lifelong learner with the community member. There comes professional development also, in which we have in-service training and workshops, attending conferences and seminars, research and publication, self-study and reflection, peer observation and feedback, technology integration, training. That's all of that. Talking about the teacher-student relationship, which is somehow sweet and sour, there should be based on mutual respect and trust, open and effective communication, supportive and encouraging environment, that is a democratic, not authoritarian approach, and there should be mentoring and guidance. I think this is some of last topic, that is motivation and learning. We have concept of motivation like internal drive to achieve goal. What's the motivation we have? And there are types that energizes and directs behavior toward our goal. There are types of motivation. First, as intrinsic, that is internal satisfaction, curiosity and interest the one have to achieve certain goal. Extrinsic is external rewards and grades and recognition. Positive motivation include praise, incentives, encouragement, and negative motivation includes fear, punishment, that is less effective in nature. Technique to motivate learners, we know set clear, achievable and real goals, provide immediate and constructive feedback, make relevant and meaningful learning, use variety in teaching methods, all of that connect learning to real life applications. Now we have Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There are 5 levels. In first level we have physiological need, that is food, water, shelter. In the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we have level 1, that is physiological needs, that is food, water, shelter. In level 2 we have safety and security needs. In level 3 we have social needs, that is belonging or love that we crave for. In level 4 we have esteem needs, that like recognition and respect. And level 5 is of self-actualization, that realizing own potential. So these are 5 level of needs by Maslow. Coming to the learning theories, we have behaviorism, in which we focus on observable behavior, that is stimulus response, by Pavlov, and that is classical conditioning. And by Skinner we have operant conditioning. So we are not discussing in much detail. So whenever you see Pavlov, it would deal with classical conditioning, and when we talk about Skinner, we talk about operant conditioning, that is reinforcement and punishment. Similarly, when it comes to Thorndike, it is trial and error, connectedness, and Watson, founder of behaviorism. Watson is founder of behaviorism. Then come cognitivism. In cognitivism, we focus on the mental process like thinking, memory, and we have Gestalt theory, in which we have inside learning whole is greater than parts. Who gave this inside learning idea like whole is greater than parts? Gestalt theory. And what Piaget says is stages of cognitive development like sensory motor, propositional, concrete, operational, and formal operational. And here comes Brunner, who gave the concept of discovery learning, spiral curriculum, and Oswell, who gave meaningful learning, advanced organizer. So we have discussed behaviorism, cognitivism. Next come constructivism. In constructivism, we are discussing about learners construct their own knowledge. So Vygotsky has the social constructivist zone of proximal development, gave the idea of JPD, in which he said active participation is essential, prior knowledge and experience matter, learning is a social process. So then we have Thorndike laws of learning, in which we have some laws like law of readiness, in which must be ready to learn, a learner must be ready to learn. Law of exercise, in which practice makes perfect. Law of effect, that means pleasant results strengthen learning. Law of primacy, first impression is lasting. Recency, recent learning is better than retained. Intensity, stronger the stimulus, better the learning. Then comes the classroom management. There are a very basic principle of classroom management, like establish clear rules and routines, maintain positive discipline, positive relationships, and all of it. We have discipline strategies like preventive disciplines, in which we avoid problems. So we plan to avoid problems. In supportive discipline, we have early intervention like the support system. In corrective discipline, we address misbehavior appropriately. In democratic approach, we have preferred over authority, and in counseling over punishment, or consistent and fair treatment is all of it. Coming to physical classroom arrangement, we have seating, that is U-shaped rows, circles, and cluster based on activity. We have proper lighting and ventilation, display boards for resources and all of it. Managing classrooms problem like attention seeking behavior, provide positive attention, disparate behavior, low motivation make lessons engaging, and conflicts mediation and conflict resolution. So here comes the whole teaching aptitude, and we have some quick exam tips and important points like what we have to learn at any cost, like remember key theorist. You can go through in deep. I am just summarizing, so I am just saying कि remember key theorist is Pavlov, Skinner, Thorndike, Piaget, Vygotsky, Brunner and Bloom. So if you want to deep dive into their content, their theory, you can if you have time. Understanding the differences like informative and summative, intrinsic and extrinsic, as I told already that it is very very important, like formative and summative. Known Bloom taxonomy is cognitive, affective, psychomotor domain. 3 levels of teaching. We learned memory, understanding and reflective. The thing we have to remember in these level is memory level is given by Herbert, understanding level is given by Morrison, and reflective level is given by Hunt. So VARK model we have discussed. Characteristic of good test as validity, reliability and objectivity. In validity we talk about it is valid or not invalid. In reliability we talk about consistency, and objectivity is all we know. In Maslow's hierarchy we have 5 letter bottom to top, and I think you have to just go through this whole PDF once. So if you need this PDF you can comment down, and I will send you a link. Okay, so teacher centered versus learner centered methods, CCE and JPD, that is zone of proximal development. I request you to go through JPD once, and remember key theorist. These are the things you can go through, and yes, all the best. We are done with the teaching aptitude, the big wide unit we all are afraid of. So I hope you are able to learn this and revise it thoroughly, and in just 20 minutes. That's how great it is. So if you are liking this way, you can comment down. I will share more units like this. Okay, all the best.